Good morning and welcome to the show. My name is Koi. Now today we're going to learn about rice. And no, I'm not talking about the grain. Rice is actually an acronym that is used when administering first aid for casualties who are suffering from soft tissue related injuries. Now many people have been known to dress soft tissue injuries without any formal training, but true knowledge of how to use dressing properly is a skill of first aid. Now with the assistance of Felix Otieno, who is a trainer at the St. John Ambulance, we learn a couple of vital skills when talking about dressings and bandages. Stay tuned for that.
Dressings and bandages are the basic tools of first aid. The type of dressing and bandage as well as the techniques for applying them vary.
Dressings basically are used to cover wounds. Dressings are used to prevent infection. Dressings also can be used to prevent further injuries, and dressing can also be used to stop and control bleeding. Bandages are usually used to hold dressings in place. Bandages also are used to supporting limbs, and bandages also can be used to immobilize limbs. When you're dealing with wounds, each and every type of wound will require dressing, because basically one of the uses of a dressing is to cover the wounds.
Historically, a dressing was usually a piece of material. The use of cobwebs, dung, leaves, and honey have also been said to have been used as alternatives to pieces of cloth. Dressings come in different sizes, and Felix's first aid kit has dressings which range from small size, which is number 7, the medium size, which is number 8, and the large size, which is number 9. Whenever you're dealing with dressings, you have to ensure that they are properly sealed, as this suggests that they are indeed sterilized.
You'll come to realize that it has like two different parts here. And this is the part that usually comes into contact with the wound itself, meaning this is the dressing part. So this other part, as you can see, it passes all the way at the behind. Its main purpose is to hold this dressing in place. So this is a combination of a dressing and a bandage. And we have a crepe bandage, we have a roller bandage, and we have a triangular bandage. So this example is a roller bandage, because mainly roller bandages are the ones that are used to hold the dressings in place.
Bandages come in many various shapes and sizes as well. Each bandage is designed to best suit a specific injury.
Crepe bandages mostly are usually used in joint areas because it can be able to stretch. Triangular bandage, and the name triangular, it's because of the shape. So open there. It's because of the shape. It's usually triangular. The most important thing is to control the bleeding itself. And whenever one gets an injury, not all the time you'll find your first aid kit next to you. So there are a few steps that we must follow before you rush and get your first aid kit. The first thing you must do is to ensure that the wound is well exposed. Then the next thing is you examine if there's any embedded object on the wound. Then after that, you will tell the casualty to apply pressure on the wound. Please apply pressure on the wound. Then slightly elevate. And we usually elevate to reduce the amount of blood flow up. Then, before you touch the casualty, it is so important for you to wear gloves, because you do not want to come into contact with the bleeding of the casualty.
A first aider must take precautions to ensure the risk of infection is minimized by practicing good first aid hygiene procedures, such as wearing gloves when accessible.
Release, please. And when you want to apply the dressing itself, it is so important that you do not come into contact with the dressing part of it. Then it is important to apply the knot directly on top of the wound, because one of the uses of a dressing and a bandage is to stop or control the bleeding itself. Then after that, you tell the casualty to support it, and the casualty cannot go to hospital when it is like that, because immediately they walk a long distance, they'll tend to get tired and release maybe the hand down like this, meaning there'll still be more blood flow heading to that particular area. So we need to support the hand itself by the use of a triangular bandage, where we are going to tie something we refer to as a sling. We usually have two types of slings. One is referred to as an arm sling, and the other one is referred to as an elevation sling. So the first thing is, when you look at your triangular bandage, it usually has two sides equal. We have the tip here and the edge. And whenever you want to tie your slings, the first step is to hold the tip and the edge. Then after that, every particular time, always be confident when you're talking to your casualty, because if they sense any panic, they will also need to start panicking. So take the tip and place it on the side next to the elbow, then pass the bandage down like this. Yeah. Place it like that. Then take this other edge. You can either put something like a clip there, or you can twist. Then come and tie it inside. Then the casualty can be supported with that supported the limb inside. When you want to tie an arm sling, we usually tie it on the shoulder all the way to the wrist. Elbow that is on the injured side, that is where the tip itself is supposed to go, and this one you place directly on top like that. Then you start tucking it in, tuck in, tell the casualty to still support the injured hand. Then you take this other edge round and they meet here directly at the shoulders. Tie a knot there to support. Then still here, what you're supposed to do is twist, then tuck inside. And it is also so important for you to ask the casualty to remove the thumb outside. The main reason why you remove the thumb outside is just to assess if the blood is flowing out. It's not really what it is. It's supposed to return to the original color. That is what will determine whether the blood is flowing back there. And what usually tells you if someone has a problem there, it usually takes a longer time to get its way to the blood. And if you want to know if the blood is an elevation sling on this wound, the most important thing is you assess after tying if it is causing any more harm to the casualty. If it is causing more harm to the casualty, just undo the dressing, the bandage itself, and tie the other sling, which right now this is an elevation sling. And the types of injuries we tie an elevation sling is anything that deals with the palm, that also plus the fingers itself, any injury to the ribs, and any fracture to the collarbone. So those are the areas where you tie an elevation sling.
Soft tissue injuries involve damage to any of the soft tissues of the body, including ligaments, tendons, and muscles.
Some of the causes of soft tissue injuries, you will find maybe a violent blow to maybe a joint, falling awkwardly, or maybe being hit with something awkwardly, maybe full force on that particular joint. So some of the signs for you to know if someone has a soft tissue injury, you'll find pain, there is tenderness of the skin, there is swelling, there is difficulty in moving with that particular limb. And when it comes to assisting a casualty who is having a soft tissue injury, the first and most important thing to do first is always to ensure the casualty has rested, to rest the casualty. Then the next thing is you will expose that particular area. We'll expose that particular area and always ensure to be gentle so as not to cause further damage or injury. Then the next thing is to get an ice pack, but always ensure not to put direct ice on top of the wound. So you can as well take something like a piece of cloth, then after that you wrap it inside it, then apply the ice. And the next thing is always to ensure that the leg itself is in a comfort position. So you need to inquire that with the casualty by asking them whether that particular area is comfortable, and gently compress the ice. Then another thing that will definitely cause more pain is the position of the leg itself. So you are supposed to always ensure it is slightly elevated and supported, so as to reduce the amount of blood flow to that particular area, so as to reduce the pain itself. Then the next thing, you can put the ice pack there and you can wrap it there, or you can gently compress around. And most important thing is always ask the casualty how they are feeling. Some people usually confuse when you're dealing with soft tissue injuries and a fracture. Soft tissue injuries mostly happens in joints, because that is where you'll find a bone is attached to another bone, or a bone is attached to a muscle. Fractures is just a crack or a break of the bone itself. When you're dealing with an embedded object, it is also demonstrated the same way on how you will deal with a protruding bone that is referred to as an open fracture. The main aim is not to push the object or the bone itself back inside, or not to remove if it is a foreign body, because it will tend to worsen the condition itself. So when you're dealing with something like this, it is important for you to apply pressure around the object, because your main aim is to control the bleeding itself. And hence, you can create something we refer to as a ring pad. You can take a bandage, then form something round like this. because the main aim is to ensure you apply pressure around the entire object, and you must create a ring pad that can be able to ensure that the object itself is not tampered with. Wait. So the object itself is supposed to be inside here, and always ensure you do not tamper with the object. So you will place it directly on top of the wound, ensuring that you do not tamper with the wound itself. Then gently release. Then tell the casualty to hold there. Then after that, take a bandage, apply pressure on the side. Release gently. Release, apply pressure gently round the object itself, because our main aim is always to ensure you apply pressure itself, but all the time ensure that you do not tamper with the object itself, because you're not supposed to remove it. Then apply pressure directly on top. Then you can take to hospital. Then after that, always ensure you finish up by tying a sling. So you can tie an arm sling. Release as support. Then after that, you take this one, put on this other side. Then tie together the two edges. Ensure that it is not too tight. Then ensure the entire hand has been supported. Twist, then tuck it inside there. Then you take the casualty to hospital for further medication so that it can be removed itself.
As part of any normal day, the need of first aid can occur as people undertake a number of activities during work or play. Having simple and effective solutions for any injuries that arise is increasingly important, particularly for those with young and growing children who constantly get soft tissue injuries such as sprains and strains.
Let's hear from our speaker on Eve Sisters coming up next.
For the last almost 1 month, is it 1 month? Yes, a month, we have been going through a lot of issues in our party. Now, Angela, you said you don't mention the others you call others. So mine, I call mine, because I also don't want to give it any prominence here. It's not their day. And it has also been a time of turmoil for me. And so every time I'm going through, we've been doing a lot of stuff, and we had taken a break from Parliament as well. But it started even before we took a break. I was wondering, what's wrong with this voice of mine? Is it because we're going, and campaigning? Then you take honey, lemon. I have a niece of mine who is a singer. I'd call her every day. What do I take? She tells me, lemon. Next day she tells me, did you try that? Yeah. People tell me brandy. I've been trying everything. Until my sister, who is actually the real rock of my stability as a woman, told me, why aren't you dealing with your issues? I said, what do you mean? She said, your voice. I said, yeah, no, this is because I've been very busy. We are campaigning, yeah, we are moving. We are going ahead. We are penetrating it. I said, no. Aren't you dealing with the issues? I said, what do you mean? And when she starts talking, normally I know I'm in trouble. She said, those are pent-up emotions, your voice. And it will never end until you deal with whatever it is you're refusing to deal with. Not a good thing to hear as a woman politician who is on her way to stardom because we are looking for the bigger, better things. And when you're told there are things you're not dealing with, and you are the woman who people look up to that you deal with issues. Shebesh is the one, any women issue. You have an issue, Shebesh, she'll solve it. I said, okay. This she told me 2 weeks ago. Funny enough, every time I'm doing something for Eve, we have some elections in our party, something happening. I don't know what is coincidence or what, but it's every time. And so when we did some elections that I'm sure you all read about, I was going to South Africa for some meeting of political parties with Electoral Commission. And because of the disaster that had happened during the elections, I was glad I was leaving the country. And I went. And that's when Joki called me. And Joki said, Rachel, we are doing now, Eve, not of universities, of professional women. I said, how can I miss that? But I told Joki I'm not going to be around. But when I came back, I said, even if I've not dealt with my issues, isn't that what these women want to hear? Isn't it really what they want to hear? Because Angela, you're telling us deal with the issues. How? The question is how? When they seem bigger than you, when you think you're getting it right, when it comes at the time when you're at your pinnacle, how do you deal with it? How? In public? Do you go underground? Underground sounds like a very good option for me right now. Do you go underground? Do you go to your mother? Do you go to what? Anyway, I did all. I went underground. I came back. I went to my mother. I went to my husband. I went to my children. I have 3 boys. In my going underground, I was stopped again by a phone call of somebody who cared and said, you're going no underground. So today morning, I called Joki and said, I'm on my way. I'm sure Joki must have been wondering, what is wrong with these women in parliament? Because she had talked to Joyce. Joyce, I told her, what do people say in those eves? You know me, I'm not shebesh, I'm not entertaining, but I'm coming for her. Lesson number 1, I'm going to do it for her. Joyce was going to come here today and be Rachel Shebesh. How you do that, I don't know, but she was going to be, because she knows what I'm going through. Then I said, now I'm going. In my coming here, I have been called by everybody, plus my mother. Don't go and talk. Don't go and say. Don't go and Don't go. Yeah, I'm sure if they had Martha's number, they would have called Martha and told her, don't let her speak. Because really that is where we are, women. And we are told, get over, do this, but how? So I just sat there now, and Angela has asked me, what are you going to speak about? I said, I don't know. And she looked at me like, honestly, these women, I mean, really, I really don't know. All I know is I'm here to tell you how to overcome the pain. How to overcome the pain. I've gone through pain so many times in politics. But I didn't know as you're coming towards election, it just intensifies. Because at a point I thought it's just life, And as I told you, our friends are very good mentors. I'm a mentor, by the way. Martha is a mentor. All women parliamentarians, we are mentoring. So just in case media, you are here, which you are, we are mentoring. Because I hear women are not supporting. We are mentoring. We are not putting it in the papers. We are mentoring women who you will see in the next parliament, in the next Senate, believe me when I tell you that. You will see them. And so this pain, I've gone through it very well because of the women next to me. Some women, I don't know where I meet them, but you meet them and suddenly that woman is the one you're telling your whole story. I did. And so, I've worked. You see, I've worked. See, the people say it. La, 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 la. Then she tells you, have you finished? It's a woman, you don't know, have you finished? Yeah, then said, then move on. So we've done this. But when you're going into elections, election year, for us now, women parliamentarians, I don't know for you professionals, is it the time when people are being appraised, that these things become hot? Because for us, it's when you're going, of course, to an election. And that's the point where you find you don't know who your enemy is. You don't know what the issue is. You thought maybe media is my enemy. No. The other party is my enemy. No. What is it? You get confused. So you get overwhelmed. So what do? When you're getting overwhelmed, you want to deal with it, but you don't know how to deal with it. Because this is not the time to deal. Angela, this is the time when we are told those are women's hormones. Atishebesh stormed out of a meeting. She will be back in 3 days. You know, my turnaround is even 3 days. Eh? For you, at least yours you're told is 1 month. Mine is 3 days. When I get angry about something and I ventilate and I walk out and I feel, or I say it will not happen, and I lead all women out, because I can also incite women to get out of a meeting if it's not going our way. They say, patia is kutatu. And for sure, within 3 days or 4, I'm back fighting for the people who are saying, you know, and people just, so the turnaround is there. It could be the hormones, it could be whatever people talk about, but it's true. People judge us by, it's a woman thing. It's a woman thing. But imagine in our hearts we know it's not a woman thing. Me imagine in my heart it's a Kenyan thing. It's a Kenyan thing. I cry a lot, by the way, and I have no shame for crying. I cry a lot every time I hear something. And when I'm telling people in Parliament an issue, they ask me, don't become emotionally attached to these things, Shebesh. Politics is not like that. I say politics ya kwenyu. But ours, when you see a story, when we see a question, it's not even our question. It could be from an MP from Laisamis, but you will see when it is an issue that affects Kenyans directly, women, children, peace in this country. We stand up, you can think it's our question with Martha. Until people say, sasa huyu alikuwa amelipa Martha na Shebesh kuongea na Kinyamili. No, it's because in women, it's that. So how do you deal with this issue? Isn't it a good question? What do I do? Is this the time to say, enough is enough? Nikuhama? Will people be impressed by that? You don't know. Is this the time to say, I give up? I've done everything. God knows. Kenyans know. Even opinion polls have said, me, I've done my best. So, acha niwaachie. What decision do you make at this time? And how do you process it? How do you process it? Do you talk to everybody? Or do you talk to a select 3? Do you go back to church and never get out of there? Go on your knees? Go to go out, how people go to retreats. Because I went to Kianda school and we used to do retreats. So I know what a retreat is about. So do you go there? You know, it's a question. But somehow, imagine the bottom line is, you must deal with it. You cannot ignore it. You can never ignore your conscience, women. You can't. You know, I laughed when you said at a point you are seeing your boss doing this. Me, my party, I'm seeing them running around like people who have gone mad. I don't know where they're going. I'm trying to stop them. Listen, this is what Kenyans want. Zigzag. And definitely, one thing Kenyans swore, you are not taking us to the politics that we did in 2007. No. We don't care what tribe that person is. You cannot dare say they cannot be president. Who are you? You know women in leadership? We all have problems. But imagine, we must deal with them quickly, faster. Because the women and the people who need you in this country are the majority. How amazing is that? And how amazing are we? That we have allowed ourselves in life to acknowledge that. To acknowledge that everything you will go through because there is a bigger agenda. Today, when we leave here, we will be going for a Thanksgiving for our colleague, Beth Mugo. You know, when you listen to our colleagues like Beth, who everybody knows came out, talked about her battle with cancer, and then you look at how long this woman has been in politics. Look at what she has done. Look at who she is. But look at what could bring her down. And yet she still stood up to fight. Because she knew, imagine even with this, and my family affected, I am bigger than it. Because the country still needs me. I want to say that how to overcome so that that glass ceiling, you break it, is the trick. And whether it is a clique of people, or it is a big group of people, or it is God, who we must always go to first, we whichever method you use, know that there is a bigger role for you to play in women leadership. And I am sure all of you did not come here to just listen to us so that you can go somewhere and say in the salon, I went to that thing of, no, Eve sisters. I'm sure you came here because you are looking for us to inspire you, because all of you who are here must be looking to think, I am bigger than myself, I want to do something, I want to tell you you can. You know me, I'm a fashion designer. People think I'm a lawyer, others think I'm an environmental expert. You thought, well, people are sure I'm a lawyer, then I've done a second degree of environmental sustainability. And after that, then I've done political science. That's what people believe. Excuse me, I'm a fashion designer. Fashion designer. Yani, in Kiswahili it's called fundi wa nguo. And I am what I am today. I am what I am today. That is the strength of a woman. Wherever you have a leadership position, you are already mentoring. You don't have to be called to be asked. You know, when people ask, who is your mentor? Do you hear people saying, Mahatma Gandhi? Kwani they met Mahatma Gandhi anywhere? Did they ever? But it's because their leadership role inspired them. You are mentors. It is our moment. God bless you, and I love you very much.
There are over 200 bones in the human body and over 600 muscles. Now, bones and muscles work together to provide strength, support, protection, and movement to the human body. And when stressed or damaged, the body's ability to move is affected. Sometimes severe injury to a bone can be life-threatening. Now, when you participate in sports and physical fitness activities, you can injure the soft tissues of your body. Now, even simple everyday activities such as taking a jog can damage these ligaments, tendons, and muscles. For that reason, it's a great advantage to possess skills such as those that Felix has demonstrated in the lifestyle feature. Mid-morning at standupmedia.co.ke is our contact. You can also get in touch with us via our Facebook page. KTN Mid-Morning is the name to look out for. It's goodbye for now.